In this video, I will be showing how you can check the Emfit sleep measurements from the results portal. And you can do this on your phone, on a tablet. I will be showing it from the PC screen as it's easier to show in this kind of recordings. But let's jump on the screen. I need to go to https and then qsemfit.com. And it's good to know you don't have a www in the beginning. And then you end up in the login page. And before you can fill in your email or serial number, you need to accept the terms and conditions. And this is important. I will read it before. The Emfit hardware and web application together is a general wellness product intended to be used for tracking the impact of free time activities on sleep quality and progression of recovery on a healthy subject. So this is for healthy people. It is not a medical device and is not intended to be used for diagnosis or monitoring of disease or other conditions or investigation of physiological processes. So you need to click agree to be able to fill in your details, and I will go now to our demo account. If you don't remember what your password is, you can click forgot password. And I click login, and I will get into a view like this. So I will get into view like this, and I will see a day and the date here, and I can see the total sleep time. So now I will, for example, click the Saturday, 11th of February. And how the dashboard will show it is that it will show this Saturday that I selected on the last one, and then it will show 1 week backwards. So we can look at the results, and there is quite a bit of different kind of results. In this one, I will be concentrating on the main variables that are most important. So first of all, we will look sleep time. So it is divided to in bed and in sleep. So part of the time when we are in bed, we are not sleeping. So it estimates that time. And here we can see that on this particular day, the sleep has been 10 hours, 50 minutes, and then the amount has been lower, 7 hours, 46 minutes. And if I want to check other days, I can then click the other day to get the details of that actual day. And then if I want to have more information, I can click always the information button, which is here from the title. The next one, which is interesting, is sleep classes. So sleep can be divided to light sleep, which most of our sleep is light sleep. And then we have REM, so rapid eye movement sleep, and deep sleep. And we can see that if you get to green area, you good. If you get even more, I think it's even better if you get a lot of deep sleep. And again, you can find more information here that what light sleep is, what deep sleep is, and what REM sleep is. And here you can find the normal percentages of good sleep. And then we can look at the sleep score. So it's an index number from 0 to 100. And 100 is the best value. And here we can, for example, see that this person Saturday and Sunday has been perfect sleep, and then the sleep quality goes down a bit in the weekdays, which is quite understandable. And in general, you can think that if you are over 80, it is good quality sleep. And you will find again more information here that how is it calculated. So basically it's the amount of sleep, amount of REM sleep, and amount of deep sleep that defines the sleep score. And then if we scroll down and we look movements. So we have activity, which means that the small arm and leg movements during the night. And then we have toss and turn when you actually move more in the bed. And if you have a very high value, it can indicate a little bit of restlessness in the sleep. And if it's long-term increase in the numbers, may be indication of approaching of overtraining condition. If you are athlete, in non-athletes, it could be, for example, indication of more stressful times of life or something like this. And then we can look the heart rate. So we can see the average heart rate, the resting heart rate, and average high heart rate there. And basically, bigger your heart is, so more you have done aerobic endurance training, usually lower your heart rate gets. So basically, if you, for example, start training in a long time scale, you could see that your heart rate starts to go down. And it's important to differentiate between the long-term changes in the heart rate and the kind of quick changes in the heart rate. And here you can find more information on this. And the general rule of thumb is that if your resting heart rate goes up more than 7 beats per minute, you could consider skipping exercise or exercising lighter. And if it's not from exercise, you could try to find some means to relieve your stress. And then we have a lot of variables related to heart rate variability and balance. And this can go pretty deep and detailed. And most of these are maybe more interesting if you really, for example, athlete, and you're really interested in the recovery. So I will be just showing the basic ones. So for example, here we can look at the total recovery. So you can get minus values and you can get plus values. And basically it is the difference between the RMSSD, which is indicator of amount of heart rate variability. And it's the difference between the morning and the evening value. So if it's positive, you have recovered during the night. But it's not as straightforward to interpret the values. So if you have done, for example, hard training the day before, your RMSD values go down because of this, and then they get higher during the recovery during night. So you will have a high positive value. But if you have a previous day is very light, you don't have stress and no heavy exercise, the RMSD is relatively high already in the night, and then you won't have a high recovery number. So you need to be thinking, what did you do day before to interpret this value? And then you can also be looking at the integrated recovery. So what is the total recovery during the whole night? And higher value is better. And then I don't go to details on these. If you want to find more information, you can read more and see if those are interesting for you. And then I will show one more variable, which is the breathing rate. So how many times you breathe per minute is the value, so average. And then there's the average high and resting one. And the typical respiratory rate for a healthy adult is 12 to 20 breaths per minute. And if you are, for example, having a fever or you are getting sick, it might go up. So it might indicate that something is happening if you see a sudden increase in your respiration rate. But basically, that's the important variables that I would be looking from here. So sleep time, sleep classes. I think the sleep classes are probably the most interesting one. And the sleep score is kind of simplified value of those. So I would be looking at these and trying to compare it. How do I feel at certain times? What did I do before going to sleep? And if I, for example, have a stressful period in life, how does it affect my sleep? And if you have problems with the device, you can contact support from the link here and just indicate your device's serial number here so that you can send the message, and then there's the captcha showing that you are a human. So that's basically it. Thanks for watching and have a great day.